All right. Let's see. We are here with Mike Dags, right?
Just Dags.
Just Dags. All right, cool. So we just go with Dags. And I assume that's how everybody can find you on social media, right?
Social media. I mean, under social media, I'm like Dags, but under music and other things, I'm Dags.
Okay.
So.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So yeah, like I know you from Facebook. I know we've been friends on Facebook for a little while. I've seen clips here and there of you performing. I think you do something similar to what I do. I'm primarily a cover guy, but I've got a handful of songs. So for those that don't know you or whatever, tell my audience kind of what they can expect or what you do in music right now.
Well, in music right now, like I started this new year. I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go back to open mics and see what they're like, because I haven't been open micing since COVID. So
Sure.
So then so I went to my first one. It was one of David Kelly's open mics. So,
Okay. Yep.
you know, just me and an acoustic guitar, pretty much. And you know, people seemed to like the music, and they started throwing gigs in my direction.
Nice.
So I'm just gonna do this then now. So I just kind of been following wherever things lead me to.
Okay.
But you know, otherwise, like most of the stuff I've released is more electronic music, not like dancing music.
It is. Okay.
But I took all of my songs and I put them through like GarageBand and used that you know, in order to make my acoustic songs into electronic songs.
Gotcha.
Not everybody likes it, but I like it. And it's part of a project that I started doing when I had a really bad time in my life, and I was just like, I gotta do something creative to really pull my head out of it. And so
And when was that, after COVID?
It was during COVID.
Okay.
So 2021. I mean, sure, I just say, and I
it's up to you, whatever you want to share.
No, it was like February 27th of 2021 is the day after I tried to take my own life.
Oh wow.
So yeah, and it was a very trying time mentally.
Sure.
But you know, I did it, and then I was just like, I was very manic for about less than 24 hours, and then everybody knew what I did. I just kind of like got really drunk and outed myself, saying that what I tried to do, and it got me put into a crisis center, and I spent a week in the crisis center, and pretty much got my head back on straight, and really became hyper focused on like mental health recovery, and sobriety recovery, and stuff like that. And when I was through and done with it, I was just like, I got this iPad. I like playing in GarageBand, so I just got a MIDI keyboard and started just using the instruments, the synth sounds, and all that, and just started transposing my music into that. So
that's awesome.
And I've just released, like, you know, well over about 80 songs on Spotify.
Wow.
You can find if you look for Dags.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
awesome. So prior to rock bottom, were you like musically creative at all, or was it kind of a hobby, or even more so?
Yeah, I spent my high school career in bands as a front man.
Okay.
And I would find myself like in metal bands and stuff, and people would say to me eventually, like, your voice doesn't fit this music. And I was like, oh, okay. And a friend of mine was just like, well, why don't you learn guitar? And I learned guitar. And when I learned like the first 5-6 chords, I was just like, now I can write music.
Right.
And now I can write music that I was just like, you know, when I write it, it's like, it's my music. You can't tell me my voice doesn't fit my own music. So, you know, shove it somewhere. So, and that's just kind of the direction I went. And I've just kind of been making songs ever since. And I really enjoy the whole original music aspect of things.
Nice.
I've been forcing myself to learn covers so I can like gig out and you know, make a few side bucks. And
there you go.
But original music is where it's all been for me, and it's always just like the creative outlet really invigorates my mind. So,
okay.
You know, so.
Cool. So you say, so the songs that you have released are kind of electronic songs. So what's that writing process look like? I mean, I've never dabbled in electronic music at all. So do you start with an acoustic guitar and then go with the electronic stuff, or how does it work?
Yeah, all the songs that they already existed as acoustic songs.
Okay.
I just, you know, I had like about, I write a lot of songs, so I had like 90 songs in my brain, and I know how they go, and you know, I got the, you know, I'm very familiar with how to sing them, how to write them. And it's just like, it was just a matter of just using GarageBand and using their instruments, and just kind of like, you know, knowing where it's basically like putting a
Sure.
puzzle
Yep.
together.
Yep.
That's kind of how it's been for me. And but then in January I released an album that wasn't written on acoustic guitar. It was all just played with the MIDI keyboard,
Oh,
playing with
wow.
GarageBand, and just like,
Cool.
and that was just like, a song would enter my. I mean, usually how I
Mhm.
write a song is just like a tune enters my brain, and it's just like, well, I got to figure out the chords for this
Mhm.
and where it goes next. And I mean, you've written songs before. I'm
Yep.
sure you know how it goes, but it's just like, it's just a matter of I listen very deeply to what's going on inside of my brain when it comes to writing music, or
Okay.
I also like writing poetry. It's just like whenever the feeling hits me,
Mhm.
I just kind of do what the song wants me to do, and
Nice.
that's how I did most of this album. Was just like when it came to writing the lyrics or just the music in general. It's just kind of I was just thinking to myself. It's just like I don't know what to write. But then the words would just like spill out of my
Nice.
mouth, just
Yep.
onto the pen and paper, and just like sometimes it's just like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I will figure it out along the way.
Yeah, right.
Just like yeah, it's been a fun experience. So the album's been out since January.
Yeah. What's that called?
It's called Menagerie
Okay.
because all the songs are different songs. It's like a like a menagerie of
Sure.
musical influences,
Yep.
but still all electronic.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, right now I'm working on just doing an acoustic. People like my acoustic music a lot more
Mhm.
than my electronic stuff, or that's the way I perceived it. So I've just been working on making an acoustic album
Okay.
for the last few
Is
months.
that album gonna have full instrumentation, or is it just gonna be you and acoustic guitar?
It's just me and acoustic guitar, and then recently I was talking to somebody, and they're just like, "What if you took your electric guitar and layered it over the guitar?" So I
Mm.
just kind of have acoustic and electric going on at the same time, not like
Nice.
distortion or anything, just
Sure.
kind of like making a fuller sound of it.
Yep.
So I kind
Yep.
of like the way it sounds.
Yeah, it's cool. Sometimes I get stuck in the rabbit hole of, you know, I'll record like my acoustics. I'll record my acoustic guitar, and then I'll record vocals over it, and then I'll start dabbling, and I'll be like, oh well, what if I put just a simple bass line on here, and then
Mm.
oh wait, let me see if I can find a drum track, and then before you know it, I've got like 8 or 10 tracks, and then I'm like, this is too much, and I start deleting stuff. You know? And I work in GarageBand too, so
Ah,
yeah, a lot of times I'm just like I take 2 steps forward and 1 step back because I'm always adding stuff and then removing it. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. GarageBand's been really. I mean, it's simple.
Yeah.
I've
Yep.
tried playing with Logic, and I was
Okay.
just like, I'm used to playing with my toy, and
Right.
just like I know how it works, and we work together well, so I just kind of stick with it.
When you said that you listen very intently to what's going on in your brain, was that a product of recovery, or have you always been like that?
It's always been like that. It's
Okay.
just, but more recently, like when it comes to like things that inspire me, it's just kind of like I've just been writing these lyrics, and my mind is just saying, write this. This is
Mhm.
going to fit perfectly. I'm just like, it doesn't make sense. No, it kind of makes sense, you know. But I just had to dissect it a little bit, and just I'm an English major. Oh, you don't know. I'm
No,
an
no.
English major. So I'm an English major, so just like reading and comprehending what
Mhm.
I'm trying to say, or just kind of analyzing it,
Yep.
over analyzing it's just kind of been part of
Sure.
that. So I get to do that with my own lyrics now, because I was just like, I don't know what you're trying to say, Michael, or Dags, but
Nice.
it's coming out the way it comes out.
How do you know when a song's finished then if you're constantly kind of figuring out what you're trying to say?
It's the how long it takes to write a song really depends. Like it can take me like a couple days,
Mm.
revisit it, and sometimes it just takes me like 30 minutes. Just like
Mhm.
the music's there, the lyrics are there, and it's just like, and there's your song.
Yep.
I'm just like, and you can shop it to other people, and they're just like, why don't you do this? And I was just like, because I'm a diva and I know how I like these things to be done. So I like collaborating with people when we're
Mhm.
writing our own music. But when it comes to my own music, I'm just like, the producer's already up here.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
knows what's going on. I'm just
Nice.
like, yeah. So
Yeah. Well, what's that thing Rick Rubin says? Like the audience comes last. Your objective as an artist is to just make something as good as you can.
yeah,
Put out the best I don't want to even say product. Put out the best piece of art that you can. And if the audience likes it, great. If not, oh well. You put out the best piece of work you could.
yeah.
You know?
And that's the one thing that like got me for the longest time. I went to therapy about it. It was just like I was so obsessed with the numbers. Like
Yeah.
nobody's listening. It's just like, putting
Mhm.
this out there and nobody cares. And
Mhm.
just like I had to go, I mean, I didn't go to therapy for that, but I did talk to my therapist a lot about
Sure.
it. And I
Yep.
just had to get over it and just be like, the numbers aren't important, and they still are sometimes. But
Yeah.
generally, I just like I don't think about them.
Mhm.
But mostly I think about it as just like the fact that we can create what we create.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
just amazing. It's just, I mean, it's a hobby to me,
Sure.
but it's
Sure.
also my life at the
Yeah.
same
Yep.
time.
Do you have kids?
No, no, no.
No? Okay. I think about so I wanted to you were talking about the numbers, and yeah, I used to get super caught up in the numbers, especially when you start something new. Like when I started this podcast back in October, yeah, I was all about the numbers. Who's listening, who's watching, all that stuff. And yeah, it gets pretty disappointing when you put something out and there's that piece in the back of your mind thinking that this will be the thing that blows up and it doesn't,
Yeah.
or same with a song. You put out a new song. Sure, you're curious to see if anybody's listening. One day I came to a realization, to your point, where it not that it doesn't matter if nobody listens, but you're primarily doing it for yourself. I've got two little girls, ages 10 and 11. And one day I had this thought like, well, you know what? When I'm, 10, 20, 30 years from now, when I'm gone, my kids who will be grown by then, they'll still be able to listen to their dad's voice,
Mm.
and I was like, that's a much better motivation to write and record stuff than just think about who will like it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So it was, so now every time I kind of record something, even if it's a podcast, because years from now, my kids will be able to see me on video talking to somebody. I kind of think like, well, I'm just making something for my kids to see in the future,
Yeah.
so leaving a legacy behind, I guess, so to speak.
Oh, yeah, I have no one to leave that legacy to, you know?
Well, there will be. You'll have the whole world, Dags. You know?
That used to be the goal, like, to
Mhm.
become a rock star, and
Yep.
I was just like, but getting back to, getting to the local scene
Mhm.
level and playing with these people,
Yep.
I've met a lot of nice people.
Sure.
I've met a lot of nice people, like, in sobriety and,
Mhm.
doing that whole thing, but then I went back to music and I was just like, there are so many nice people here. I haven't, like, rubbed against an ego
Mhm.
like I did, back in the day, like,
Yeah.
pre-COVID, and it's just like, and even pre-COVID, people were generally alright, but, you just find egos,
Sure.
like,
Sure. Yep.
egomaniacs here and there, and it's just like, why? It's just like, and sometimes you're not even that great. You're artistically great, but when it comes to, like, chord progression, song structure,
Mhm.
all that,
Yep.
just like, "Nah, it's not all there."
Yeah,
Um
I hear you. Some people, way before COVID, I was in an original rock band, and our singer, he thought he walked on water.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like we would do a show. It was like our first show at Shady Katie's, and it was our very first show, and he shows up like an hour late, and we're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, I was getting my voice ready," and I'm like, "Come on, man,"
Mm,
So anyway, so yeah, lots of egos pre-COVID for sure.
yeah.
But yeah, this little community, I guess, right here in South Jersey, um, like you, I got started. I reintroduced myself after COVID to like open mics and all that stuff, and never considered myself a singer until I started going to open mics. And yeah, everybody I've met since starting again has been awesome. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Everybody's super supportive. Leanne's my girlfriend. I met her at an open mic. Like I met her on the scene.
Okay.
So it's crazy how this scene here in South Jersey has kind of it's just a lot of good people trying to lift each other up. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? The majority of them are
Mhm.
all very, very supportive and very complimentary. You know what I mean? You do release a new song. If four people listen to it, at least one of my friends that I've know on the scene is going to be like, dude, your song's awesome. Even if it's not, they'll say.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about like your influences.
Well, yeah, I always listen to different, like, playlists every day, like,
Mhm.
I'll listen to anything from, like, doo-wop to hip-hop.
Okay.
I'll listen to death metal one day, I'll be listening to,
Nice.
like, pop modern pop
Mhm.
at the other spectrum. I'd like to do things that confuse my mind musically, so I'm
Okay.
not, like, writing just one type of song. So,
Sure. Yep.
so I don't have, when I think about myself, I might call myself like an acoustic rock musician, but it's
Mhm.
just like, sometimes I have a reggae song, sometimes I have a blues sounding song. It's just like, again, it's whatever my brain tells me to
Yep.
do. I'm
Yep.
gonna do it, and it. I don't know if it's hurt me or not, like, to not, like, pigeonhole myself into one genre, but, but it helped me develop, like, the vocal voice,
Mhm.
because when I was, like, in high school, I was always trying to imitate, my favorite singer,
Sure.
but then when I started learning guitar, over the years, I've just developed a different voice, so, but back to, musical influences, like, my father would listen to, 50s and 60s music,
Mhm.
70s music, and then my brother would listen to, like, Metallica and Ween
Mhm.
and, you know, um Anthrax and things like that.
Nice.
So I was listening to, really poppy, chewing gum kind of music, and then, just really dark and disturbing stuff at the
Nice.
same time.
Yep.
So my brain just pulls me 2 different ways, so I
Yeah.
just gotta find that happy medium.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. When did you start playing guitar?
To age myself, it was 2004, I think, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So I've been so it's funny, some of the songs the first song that I wrote in 2004, I still play to this
Do
day.
you really?
Yeah,
Nice.
I know people who are just like, I wrote that, I move on, like, "The
Mhm.
moving hand hath written, having writ moves on." I was like, "Nah, I still like this stuff I did,
Nice.
back in the day, so I keep it all fresh in my
That's
mind,
awesome. Yeah.
and I never play it out live."
No, you don't?
I've never played my first song live.
No? Why not?
I don't know, I just, it does seem a little, you know, it's not childish in any way, but it's just kinda like it just doesn't feel like that song that I wanna put out there for other
Oh, okay.
people.
I
So I
got you.
just
Yep.
sometimes I keep these songs to myself.
Yep. I hear you.
So,
Yep.
but
I've got one song like that. It's it's not my first song, but it's like a super personal subject matter. So
mhm.
I just play it in my room.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's cool. Any formal music training or anything like that?
No, I played the trombone in high school, and then I moved on to choir, like, immediately, and I've just known people who are musicians, like, I
Mhm.
when I started learning the guitar, like, anyone could throw me tips here and there. I didn't get guitar lessons. I'm not,
Okay.
like, really I'm self-taught at the same time as being, just being told what to and to not do.
Okay. Yep.
So, but I understand theory,
Nice.
a bit, but I can't read music for anything.
Okay. Yep.
So,
Yeah, I can't read music either. I was raised on like tablature. You know what I
mhm.
mean? From subscribing to Guitar World magazine back when I was in high school and stuff. So I don't know any theory. I mean, I've embraced it as I've gotten older. I've watched lots of YouTube videos on music theory and guitar playing and all that stuff, but I can't say I know much about it at all.
Yeah.
Have any so you said trombone
Yeah, trombone.
and then guitar. Any other music and instruments?
No, just, I mean, the only other thing I've ever, ever done was play with my little MIDI keyboard and make
Oh, right, right.
little, melodies on that, but
Yep.
I can't play the piano
Okay,
to save my
gotcha,
life.
gotcha.
Um, but yeah, no, just those 2 instruments,
Okay,
and the guitar is the thing that's become
right,
a part of me.
nice. Can you educate me on what, like, that MIDI keyboard does? Because I don't it's MIDI has always been like a that one word's been a complete foreign language to me my whole life. I don't know what that is, what it does.
I don't know. All I know it does is I take it, I plug it into my iPad, I
Mhm,
find the nice, synth patch, and when I hear that right sound, I'll start,
okay.
like, I'll hear melodies in my head
Mhm,
'cause, essentially, I'm a singer, so
yep,
I think that really helps writing is to know, how to make a melody, but then, like, when I'm playing these chords the piano or, GarageBand, you can just make it
yeah,
play
yep,
chords for you.
like the smart piano or
But
whatever they
then
call it.
yeah,
Yep,
but then inside I just hear, like, a melody.
mhm,
So on the MIDI keyboard, this little plastic thing that I
yep,
have, I just, you know, play
okay,
play it the way I play it.
nice. And I assume you can use other sounds through that. Like if you wanted to do a drum beat on that keyboard, you could probably do that, right?
Probably could, but
Yeah,
no, I
yeah.
usually just program the drums or use their session drummer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I looked it up. I was like, that is legal to do. Like you can use anything in GarageBand you can use and release,
Yeah.
because I was worried like one time if back when I first started, like if I release this song, is somebody going to claim that that's their drum beat?
Uh-huh.
But apparently I guess they license it out or
Yeah, right.
whatever. Yeah, so that's cool. Okay, so you had mentioned, previous bands prior to COVID. Anything any projects that you've worked on in the past that have kind of established any kind of like traction or success? Any, shows that you want to brag about or anything like that?
You
Or
know,
is it all just garage band type stuff?
I was in a band called
Mhm.
Greedo's Ghost, for a little bit, and, that was my baby because it was
Oh, okay.
I played with other people. We wrote a couple songs, probably like 4 songs, original songs in the band, but everything else was just, like, stuff I already wrote, and I was just like, "Now
Mhm.
I wanna play in a band." But, the just, like, the biggest thing we did was play Kung Fu Necktie.
Oh,
And I was
really?
just thinking to myself, I
Nice.
was just like, "I wanna hit all these little points," and Kung Fu Necktie was just, like, the one I wanted to do.
That's awesome.
So, but, but I've never made it big with any
Sure.
singles or
Mhm.
anything like that, and I was just like, "It'd be nice someday," but,
Yeah. Yeah.
I just kind of get alright with the mediocrity. So,
Well, that's good. You're not always chasing. I assume it's good for the art when you're not always chasing some kind of fame or recognition, right?
yeah,
You know.
because I can hear that I don't wanna be rude or anything, but, like, I can hear that in some lyrics when
Mhm.
I hear it. It's just like, it's very kinda cheesy. Like, yeah, I was listening to, one artist's song. It was just like, driving down LA with my best girl's hand by my side or something like that. I was just like, and here I am singing a song about, like, my week in a mental asylum. So I was just like, I don't know. I mean, I think I've lived enough. It's just like,
Yeah.
I can't I like to I don't live in the darkness, but, the darkness definitely comes out in these
Okay.
things. It's
Yeah.
weird, like, I've been I used to be a very negative minded, like, think of myself as a piece of crap. I don't know if I
You
can
can say
curse.
whatever you want. Yep.
Piece of shit. Um, and like, I always looked down on myself and negative talked myself, when I made that flip from, like, the suicide attempt to getting my head on, like,
Mm,
mentally and emotionally, just like, I'm a very positive person right
mhm.
now. But, like, if I read some of my poems, it's just like, it sounds like you're really just still sitting in the darkness, sitting in your
Right.
own
Right.
shit, and it's just like, it's so weird. But I can't write a positive I can't write positively. It's just like, it's just, it's just ingrained in me to.
Is that like almost like a coping mechanism, or not coping, but is that, you go back to revisit the darkness to help kind of process it still, or is it just something that you're into?
It's just, no, it's my main vernacular. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
negative talk, but I'm not,
Yeah.
like, talking negatively about myself. Usually, I focus, like, mainly when I'm writing is just, like, how my skewed view of society,
Mhm.
and just, like, I try to not talk in a, like, didactic,
Yep.
just this is the way things should be. It's just kind of like, this is the way things seem to me,
Mhm.
and whether or not you agree or disagree, that's all right. you know so
That's cool. Very cool. What kind of so I know you mentioned acoustic guitar and electric guitar. Tell me a little bit about your equipment. What are you using to play? What are you using to gig with and stuff?
Well, I mean, my acoustic guitar I brought is, it's called a Mitchell. I've
Okay.
only seen one other Mitchell in the wild.
Mhm.
Everybody's got their Martins, their Taylors, their Yamahas, and I was just like, I don't know. I found this Mitchell. It had a tuning. I can tune my guitar from it, and
Okay.
I like the way it sounds. So,
Nice.
but
Where'd
then my and don't ask me the main specifics about it, but my electric guitar of choice was made for me by my friend Travis.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Nice.
a Telecaster Stratocaster hybrid.
Oh,
But,
wow.
like, ask me about a humbucker? I don't know. I can I play the guitar? Yes, but, can I name the parts? No, not at all.
So you're not a gearhead.
No, no, not at all. So,
That's cool. What's Travis's last name?
uh, Bacon Cobb,
Okay.
yeah.
Is he local?
He used to be local. I think
Mhm.
he's in Alabama right
Oh,
now.
wow.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
he's he's down south. He
Yeah.
comes up, goes down south, but I've lost touch with him. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So when did he make that guitar for you? Must've been a while ago then.
I got it. Yeah, he was making it, like, during COVID times,
Mhm.
and he gave it to me probably March of 2021.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's
it
cool.
was it was like his gift to me, and then he disappeared.
That's all. Well,
So
it's a heck of a gift.
yeah,
That's
yeah, that's
awesome.
right. It was made with, I don't know if you ever heard of Pete Brown.
I don't think
No,
so.
no, he
No.
makes, Laudo guitars,
Okay.
but, it was made from discarded wood from his wood shop,
Oh,
and, yeah,
really?
so
Nice.
Travis just filled in the holes, put it all together. So
That's very cool.
hmm
Let me see. So you said you're kind of you're not kind of, but you're originally a singer.
mm.
So when did that start? Have you just been singing your entire life?
It's weird. When I was younger, I remember like singing songs to myself, and
Mhm.
I didn't know how to write a song, but like I'd just ride around my bike in the neighborhood and like no one around me. I was just like just sing songs to myself,
Like your own stuff, just making it up?
just making stuff up
Yep.
as I go along,
Mhm.
and then like but I was in a band, and then everybody else that I liked was in choir. So I
Mhm.
moved over to choir. So I just like, kind of started singing from there, like really having a voice. And it was, getting into bands and singing with them and just like being able to come up with vocal melodies and all that. So it just kind of like came naturally,
Mhm.
and then like listening to some songs when I was younger, I was just like I would sing harmonies over them. It was just like I don't know what harmonies are. I just know how to sing them, you know.
Right, right.
So I just kind of dumbed my way into music. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well, it's working.
yeah, I know. Hmm.
That's awesome. So you're not doing music full time, I guess, right?
Oh
You've got like a regular full time job.
yeah, I
Yeah.
work from home.
Mhm.
It's a very nice job.
Yep.
But you know, music is mainly my life. But I never I have no designs to make money off of it,
Okay.
aside from, gigging at a
Sure.
brewery and getting
Yep.
paid
Like a side hustle. Yep.
$100 or so. So, that's cool.
Yep.
But I don't know. I don't know what I'd be like without music. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Nice. Nice. Any gigs coming up?
Yeah, I'm playing Tanner Brewery on the 20th of September,
Okay.
and then I'm doing Porch Fest in the 27th of September in
Is that
Collingswood.
Collingswood? Yeah, yeah,
Collingswood,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of porch
I know,
fests
I know, I
coming
know.
up. It's that time of
Collingswood's the
year.
only one I know, so because that's where I live. So
Nice, nice. Collingswood's a great town.
mm,
Lots of music in that town, or at least a lot of musicians.
yep.
And the Porch Fest that they put on, I've never played it, but I know it's one of the biggest ones in the area. Like I think they've got like 100 something houses that
hmm
participate in it, which is great. And it's somewhat walkable town.
Yeah,
So if you're a spectator, if anybody listening to this podcast wants to go check it out, like you could park somewhere and just walk up and down the streets and see any number of musicians for sure.
that's how life should be. Just
Yeah, it's great.
any number of musicians, anywhere you go.
Yeah. So how can people find you? Which platforms, all that stuff? Give me that information.
I mean, I'm on Facebook as Mike Dags, and then Instagram it's Mike.Dags52,
Mhm.
I believe, and find me on Spotify, Apple Music, any of those
Yep.
streaming
The
platforms.
main
Excuse me.
platforms. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
How about a YouTube channel?
I don't have a YouTube channel.
No.
Like my music is when I release it through DistroKid, they'll put it up on YouTube, but
Right,
I don't
right.
have a YouTube channel. I just
Okay.
never got into that, and
Yep.
I thought about like sitting down and playing my music and releasing them on a YouTube channel,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I don't take the time to do that at all.
Yeah.
I focus on other things.
It's a lot of work. I mean, I have a YouTube channel. I've at one point I made an honest effort to try to become a YouTuber.
Mm.
And it's just a lot of work trying to put out consistent videos like every week or every few days. Not only are you shooting the videos, then you have to edit them and all that stuff. And I learned pretty quickly about myself that I'm not into like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, you're going to play a couple songs for us? Or?
Yeah, one that people seem to really like is called Misfit,
Mhm.
and that was one of those ones where all the words just fell out of my face,
Mhm.
and just kind of came naturally to me. But it's basically a song about like, you know, f- not trying to fit in society, but just kind of like being your own broken piece,
Mhm.
not being able to fit in society, but at the same time, just kind of like in the end of the song, I just kind of like go on a tirade about just like how I don't know. It's just like I want to be free in
Right.
this society, but at the same time, it's just like there's part of you inside that wants to belong, but at the same time, like I do want to belong, but also I just want to be able to be free in my own
Mhm.
little microcosm.
Yeah,
And
I feel that. I
yes,
know, I understand what you're talking about completely for sure.
so
Yep.
yeah, then that's that one, and then the other one's called Rubble, which a friend,
Rebel? Rubble.
Rubble,
Okay.
like
Gotcha.
yeah,
Yep.
another
Like
one.
Barney Rubble.
Barney Rubble. Another one about like broken pieces. But a friend of mine was having a bad day, and I was just like, this is a song for anybody who's having a bad day. It was just like, I've
Nice.
been there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like, I know what it's like, but, it gets better. I don't know if it comes out that uplifting, but, I know that it's, I've been down into the
Sure.
darkness and I pulled myself out of
That's
it. It's just
awesome.
like, yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm.
Is there if it's too personal of a question, you don't have to answer. I'm just curious, what was it? I mean, like when you hit rock bottom and survived, was there something that kind of turned the light on for you to say, all right, now, like, was there something that kind of pulled you up?
It was just like flipping a switch. Like
Yeah.
to go into detail, I
Mhm.
don't,
It's up to you.
I
Whatever you
I
want to share.
tried to I tried to hang myself,
Oh wow.
and when I
Okay.
did it, it was kind of like I strangled the ego out of me,
Mhm. Yep.
and from there I just kind of like, you know, I went on a bender,
Mhm.
and then I woke up the next morning. I was just like, you know, might have destroyed my life. I don't know what I did, but at
Mhm.
the same time, I was just like, when Drunken Me put himself on blast and was just like telling everybody what he did.
Hmm.
Like I told a Facebook group that I was running at the time. I
Oh my
told them,
God.
so that's like 500 people,
Right.
and
Right.
I told my manager. My manager told HR. HR told my wife. It was kind of like, I'm out there right now.
Yeah.
Everybody knows
Sure.
my shit is fucked up.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what am I going to do now? It's just
Mm.
like, I can't sit in my own shit anymore. I just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to show people that I'm worth it and going to improve. And I'm not doing it so people know that I'm doing these things. I'm not doing it to put on a show. I'm just
Sure.
like,
Yep.
I can't go down any deeper and darker. I can,
Right.
but I
Right.
don't want to.
Right.
So I
Right.
just, I went straight on to positivity and, you know, I found out I'm bipolar.
Okay.
And then when I found out, the doctor kind of sat me down and he was just like, Michael, I'm sorry. You're bipolar. I was like, no, you're just telling me my shit's fucked up and we can fix this. And that's kind of what I got out of it. And,
Mhm.
and, and ever since I've just been like, when I see there's a problem, just like, I just know there's a solution to said problem,
Right.
and I just do what I can to get myself better. I
Mhm.
don't know.
Yep. No,
That's
that's
that's too
great.
much.
No, it's great. It's great. And I don't know you very well, but I'm glad you're in a much better spot.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're here.
I'm
So,
I'm
it's
super
awesome.
excited to be here. So
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, cool.
no,
Anything else you want to say before we move to the performance? And if not, that's okay.
um, no, I guess that's it. I just I don't know. I didn't know what this was going to be like, so I just kind of threw myself into it.
No problem.
I was future tripping on the ride here, and it's just like, listen to the music you're listening to. I was listening to the more like classic rock stuff.
Mhm.
Midnight Rider was on, and then a Tom Petty song, I don't know the name of it,
Yep.
was on when I was kind of here. It was just like, focus on that. Don't think about like what kind of questions he's going to ask, how you're going to answer them. It's just like, that's not going to do anything because
Yeah,
when you're
yeah.
in it,
Yep.
it's just going to be what it's going to be. And that's
Yep.
kind of like how I'm trying to live my life. But it's just like the pull of the past and the future are just like insane. I mean, I don't live in the past, but it's just like
Sure.
I wouldn't be where I am right now without the past, and I
Yep.
wouldn't be where I'm going without the future.
Right.
I don't know.
No, it makes
I
sense.
honor them
Yep.
to a certain extent more than I honor the present moment, but the present moment is a culmination of the past,
Right.
and it's only a jumping off point to the future. I don't know.
Sure. I hear
Um,
you.
yeah, and this is all sober me.
Yep.
Imagine if I was high and out of my mind right now, what kind of conversation you would be getting. Um, anyway, that's where I'll leave
Anyway,
it.
that's all right. I appreciate being on the podcast. Thank you so
Thanks for
much.
having me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're welcome.
well, this is my song Misfit. A picture drawn in my head, a half-written song, a breath that's never been breathed. Oh, what could go wrong? Oh, I am saving, but the money's spent. I am searching for the evidence. I feel a bit of a pest to seem I belong. Oh, my
I can do is act well my part. But of all the things that I say, it was all I was in my way. I was giving my all. That was enough to lay bare my heart. The moment we come to be, we cry that we're born. Upon this great stage of fools, that's built upon the labor of life's scorn. But we're made of brighter things. We live to grasp the brass ring, or take the carousel home and call in the morn. Oh, my regards, if this is it, I belong, but as a misfit, I'm the line in a script. All I can do is act well my part. But of all the things that I say, it was all I was in my way. I was giving my all. That was enough to lay bare my heart. I have come to grips with life as a misfit, but also come to see the true reality of what seems to be a sense of enemy. It's nothing more than a desire to be free. Oh, my regards, if this is it, I belong, but as a misfit, I'm the line in a script. All I can do is act well my part.
All right, nice. Love it.
Then this is Rubble, which doesn't have a capo on it, so let's stop that. All right. You long to transform, but do so at a snail's pace, without facing the path, untying your laces. You feel the weight of a recent gesture of human kindness, feeling despair, maintaining a jaded sense that you no longer care. You awake from dreams of failure, bitter, bewildered, confused. You taste the tears of all life has to offer, feeling so abused. Oh, I may not know your name, but I know the depth of your pain. You see, I've been there, I lived there, I made it my home, until the walls crumbled down and left me alone to build from the rubble of a wasteland of all that I know. All footsteps lead to somewhere most unfamiliar for sure. And though your mind may echo a doubt, know you're deserving of more. Oh, oh, I may not know your name, see, I've been there, I lived there, I made it my home, until the walls crumbled down and left me alone to build from the rubble of a wasteland of all that I know. At times my mind was fractured, I thought that I was a ghost, haunting these halls, lacking the will to find hope. So I ought to know, oh, I may not know your name, but oh, I know the depth of your pain. You see, I've been there, I lived there, I made it my home, until the walls crumbled down and left me alone to build from the rubble of a wasteland of all that I know.